purport. The selection of good husband for a good girl was always entrusted to the parents. Here it is clearly stated that Manu and his wife were coming to see Kardama Muni to offer their daughter, because the daughter was well qualified and parents were searching out a similarly qualified man. This is the duty of parents. Girls are never thrown into the public street to search out their husband, for when girls are grown up and are searching after a boy, they forget to consider whether the boy they select is actually suitable for them. Out of the urge for sex desire, a girl may accept anyone, but if the husband is chosen by the parents, they can consider who is to be selected and who is not. According to the Vedic system, therefore, the girl is given over to a suitable boy by the parents. She is never allowed to select her own husband independently. So the Supreme Lord, the most merciful Lord, having appeared before Kardama Muni, being pleased with his austerities and mental and sensory discipline, the Lord is speaking to Kardama Muni that I know what is in your heart. Do not worry. I have arranged for your heart's desire to be fulfilled. The day after tomorrow, a celebrated emperor with his wife Shatarupa will come wishing to see you. And they have a grown-up daughter and she is ready for marriage, good character or good qualities. And she is also searching for a good husband. My dear sir, her parents will come to see you, who are exactly suitable for her, just to deliver their daughter as your wife. That princess of holy sage will be just the type you have been thinking of in your heart for all these long years. She will be yours and will serve you to your heart's content. So, something very important message is there in this pastime of Kardama Muni and the Supreme Lord, so that one gets a well-rounded understanding of the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. The philosophy of Krishna consciousness is all-inclusive of every type of jiva. Can be Krishna conscious to different degrees of purity. Even though our parampara, we are talking about pure devotional service, one should not think that God or Krishna is available only for the pure devotees. That is usually a misunderstanding that comes in the minds of the Vaishnavas who are aspiring for pure devotional service. Whereas the fact is that entire existence, within and without, Krishna is there. He has various aspects of rasa with his creation, with his living entities. Unlimited. Atila Rasamrita Sindhu. It's unlimited. God is unlimited. You cannot limit God only to a relationship with pure devotees. Everything in existence is related with God. But each form of the Lord has his particular rasa. Goloka Krishna has his particular rasa. There won't be any rasa abhasa. The Lord will manifest the form according to the rasa of the devotee. The very fact that Lord has appeared as Mahavishnu lying on the causal ocean, bringing forth the creations, and then within each creation the Lord is lying as Garbhodaksha Vishnu, then expanding into each atom and every living entity as Shirodaksha Vishnu, means this is his particular form that is dealing with the material creation, maintenance and annihilation. Even the secondary creation, Brahma, and annihilation by Lord Shiva is done under the supervision of Vishnu, Chirodaksha Vishnu. So the Lord as a person is there in the heart of every living entity as Shirodakshaya Vishnu. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishtam atasmriti jnanam apohanam cha. When Krishna says that in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is Tameva sharanam gaccha sarvabhavena bharata. He says surrender unto him utterly. So just see, there he says surrender unto him eternally. Here he says sarvasya chaham sannivishta. So super soul is same as Krishna. Krishna is same as super soul. At the same time they are different. Why they are different? Because they are different rasa. That is Vishnu Tattva. Advaitam achyudam anadim anantarupam. Adhyam purana purusham nava yauvanam cha vedeshu durlabam adurlabam atma bhakto govindam adi purusham tamaham bhajami. But Govinda is the Adi Purusha. Within him all other Purushas are included. When he appeared in the earth 5,000 years back, then within his transcendental body, all other Vishnus were also present. When various demons were being killed, it was not the Goloka Krishna who was killing, but it was the Vishnu who was the timely incarnation. From time to time he descends for paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya cha dushkitam. For that purpose the Lord who incarnates, he is inside, he is within Lord Krishna, and he comes and he executes all this killing. So different multiple bhava, multiple rasas the Lord is enjoying. That is why it is called Akila Rasamrita Sindhu. This is a very, very difficult subject for analytically to understand these things, but basically we can understand the different roles that the Lord can play, and his capacity is unlimited. Just like we can say play different roles in one body, the Lord can play unlimited roles in unlimited bodies for unlimited rasa with his unlimited devotees. So therefore the idea of Krishna consciousness in our understanding has to broaden. Even if somebody with a material desire prays to the Lord reciprocates. Even if the person does not even recognize it is Vishnu, simply is praised as God, as Parameshwara, the concept of the Supreme Controller, all-powerful Supreme Controller. In that form one prays to the Lord for removing one's difficulties. The Lord is there to reciprocate, even in the material world. It may not end up in any permanent relationship with the Lord because it is purely transactional. Just like the Devatas have a transactional relationship with the Lord. They are afraid that if they are not dependent upon the God, their position will go away. So the transactional relationship with the Lord, not a constitutional relationship. Pure bhakti is constitutional relationship. We are going for constitutional relationship. That does not mean that there cannot be transactional relationship with Vishnu in this material world. A good Muslim prays, it is super soul who is reciprocating. A good Christian prays, it is super soul who is changing their karma. Because the Lord is there as a person in this material world, just like you create your karmas, each of us create our karmas by our action. The Lord will put his finger into this material world. He is also an individual of this material world. He is a chief living entity in this material world as a super soul. As a chief living entity, he will also do some action. When you pray to him, he is also a person, he is also part of this world. Okay, you pray because you don't have power. You pray to me because I have power. Okay, I'll use my power and I'll help you. You are coming to me and you will sanction. That is the meaning of saying that how Krishna consciousness is all inclusive. It is not that Krishna consciousness is there in one corner and pure devotion service only. No. That may be our goal. That may be our goal. But when we preach the truth of Krishna consciousness to everybody, we have to understand, look at it, look at all these statements that Prabhupada says. Very important. Usually devotees don't preach like this. Only by God's grace one can get a nice wife just as he desires. Somebody may say, hey, Krishna won't involve in all your wife business and all, he'll say. Because you are trying for pure devotion service. It's a fact, Golok Krishna won't involve in your wife's business. But still he may also, if suppose you have so much love for Golok Krishna, he also will involve in your wife's business also. husband business. He will also involve. Then love has no barrier. Suppose predominantly you are worshipping Lord Krishna, Goloka Krishna, and then you have some desire like that, he will involve. Thus it is said that if we pray to the Supreme Lord in every transaction of our material existence, everything will be done very nicely and just suitable to our heart's desire. What Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Mat chitta sarvadurgani mat prasadat tarishyasi atachetam ahankara nashosasi vinangshasi. Without me you try you get over obstacles, get your desires. No, it will be limited to your karma. But mat prasadat, I am the chief living entity in this material world, just like so many unlimited living entities are there. There is one chief living entity. You come to the chief living entity, I will sanction, then you can get it. Everything will be done very nicely and just suitable to our heart's desire. In other words, in all circumstances, we must take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In all circumstances. And depend completely on His decision. Man proposes, God disposes. The fulfillment of desires, therefore, should be entrusted to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is one level of bhakti, starting of bhakti. Pure devotees never pray to the Lord. I am entrusting some desire because He feels. I cannot take service from the Lord. I have to serve the Lord. But at the same time, the total picture we have to understand that the Lord is ready. That is a kind of relationship that the devotee has got. That I will not pray to the Lord. But the Lord knows that he is having a desire and he is not praying. The Lord will fulfill without praying. Just because you didn't put a formal application, the Lord is not going to say that your desire shall not be fulfilled. The devotee is understanding that the Lord is seated in the heart and is continuously monitoring He knows my life, this life. My consciousness, contaminated consciousness is so tiny that I know only from this birth to this death I may know. Even rest of the life up to death also I do not know. From birth till now I know. But the Lord as a Paramatma has seen your previous life, all the dramas that you have done, all the sukha dukkha you have gone through, all the desires that you have had in millions of journey, that everything that the Lord is seated in our heart, that Lord knows. That means there is a person who is seated in our heart who knows the history million times, our history million times than what we know now in our present life. I am this body. Our present life is what? I am this body. I am a member of this social world of different bodies, dream bodies. That is the only life you know about. How limited it is to think that I am that, my life is that. We have had millions of lives. It is a fact. Just like how really we live this life, previous life we have lived really, I am that, I am that, I am that, I am that. And all the rasas that you have sought, different desires that you have sought is all noted by the Lord in the heart, Paramatma. Paramatma is seated in everybody's heart and He knows everything. Therefore there is nothing to be ashamed before the Lord. You cannot hide anything from the Lord. This is the kind of perception you should have about the Lord in the heart. I have nothing to hide. Every nonsense I think He knows. Every good thing I think He knows. Every sinful desires of mine He knows. Suhurdam Sarvabhutanam is a friend of all living entities. He is sitting there, no problem. This is the journey you want to take, you go ahead. But you want to stop this journey, I am ready right now. Go to a pure devotee. Come to higher relationship with me. Come to pure devotional relationship with me. Come to a relationship where you will have no other desire than my desires. I will desire for you what you should do in this life, what will happen to you. You don't decide. Sarva dharman parityeja mam ekam sharanam vraja aham tam sarva papebhyo mokshishyami ma suchaha. Do not worry about all the past. Just surrender to me. I will lead your life. Do your duty, daily duty. Follow all that I have told in Bhagavad Gita. You cultivate a Krishna conscious life. Cultivate a Brahmanical life. Cultivate all the instructions, follow all the instructions, try to learn all the instructions that I have given, how to control the mind, how to control the senses. I have given all wisdom in Bhagavad Gita. So with respect to yourself, you cultivate all those good qualities and then simply execute your duty. And I will connect all those duties to mean what it has to mean in your life. Don't think of any future or your ambition. Don't think, he is not saying don't think of. If you don't want to think, I will take care. If you want to think, I will go back. You create your own future, I will go back. Let's see. Anything you want to independently try, the Lord will be very respectful of your desire. He will never push relationship. In the material world, somebody will push some relationship. Surrender to me. All this. Push. Follow me and all this. No. Krishna is very respectful. You want to follow? Follow. You want another 100 lives? Another 1,000,000 lives? I will be with you. But be very careful, material world. He also wants. Material energy is so dangerous. Stringent laws of material nature. You cannot guarantee that material nature allow you to remember me always, anytime. You may once for all go into a whirlpool of material desires where you will forget that I am there with you. I may be there, but what is your benefit? I am there and you are not able to relate with me. Now somehow or the other, by the good fortune of association of Vaishnavas, you have come to realize that presence of me everywhere and I am the Param Ishvara, Supreme Controller. There are so many small Ishwaras in this material world. I recognize their Ishwaratva also. Let them do the Ishwara from Jiva to demigods. But I am Param Ishwara. All those Ishwaras may decide anything. But if I decide you have to get a good wife, you'll get a good wife. Over. I am Param Ishwara. But these are all, for the sake of understanding the proper Krishna consciousness philosophy, we have to understand that Krishna consciousness, Krishna is all inclusive. Krishna doesn't leave anybody. Even karmis it doesn't leave. It may take time, or it may not. Perpetually he may be there. That also is choice. Perpetually in Janma Mrityu Chakra he will go on. But still the Lord is there, and in his Leela, again creation will wind up, again next creation, these same jivas will come forth, and they will continue their journey. So we are very fortunate that we come across pure devotees who are coming from that world, Vaikuntha world, to show us another kind of life. This is also a life. Though for those who are born, death is certain. For those who are dying, birth is certain. So you are eternal here also. So don't worry, you'll never die. You are eternal here also. But only thing is, different chapters you will have. You will be in one life, you'll be a man, another life, you'll be a woman, another life, you'll be an elephant, another life. Like it goes on like that. You everything, all those, you can go on. Similarly, man proposes, God disposes. Fulfillment of desire therefore should be entrusted to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The devotees who are pursuing pure devotion service, no doubt they have desires, because they have a body. We have to accept this. Since we have a body, there will be so many desires, default desires. The desires that you may get may be different from the desires you get. Desires from you get, each person, because according to his karma, this body is taken to fulfill desires. So we have to admit the fact that desires will come. What you do with those desires, here, even those who are pursuing pure devotional service, you should not think that the pure devotion, those who are pursuing pure devotional service won't have material desires. This is wrong. Bodily urges are there, mental urges are there, urges for name, fame, all these things are there, all these urges are there. The fulfillment of the desires therefore should be entrusted to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the nicest solution. The devotee should pray to the Lord that all my conditioned desires are placed at your lotus feet. Please sanction me or do not sanction me according to your perception of what is good for me to develop pure devotional service unto your lotus feet. This should be a daily prayer of the devotee. He should entrust it to the Lord. That is the best way to deal with our desires. And the devotee will become very peaceful. So, very significant things Srila Prabhupada has revealed in these purports, where there is a tendency, as I started saying, that to isolate Krishna only to pure devotees, isolate God only to pure devotees. Then everything else is, God is not involved. Any questions? Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. If a devotee asks for any desire, asks for something from the Lord, and it so happens for a devotee that sometimes when he is in the right consciousness, he may be going and praying to the Lord that, Lord, I just want your devotional service. When his consciousness is not so good, he may be asking for some material desires. So in that case, in this fluctuation, the fluctuating consciousness, so what will happen to that devotee? Because he would have asked something from the Lord to fulfill, but at the same time, after some time, he goes and asks that I don't want that.
The Lord will read the essence of what is in your heart. And forget about, the words, or at different times contradictory or whatever it is. The Lord reads in your heart. Simply He will read that you have desire for devotion service, pure devotion service. But you are being haunted by these desires. And then if you hand over those desires to the Lord, that I surrender unto Him. See, Lord is very sensitive. Unless you hand over, He will not take for granted. He will not put just like a gentleman won't put hand in your pocket and take out your money. Krishna is perfect gentleman. Super soul is perfect gentleman. He will not touch your desires, give up your desires and all those things. You have to voluntarily give up. So, the Lord is, when you tell the Lord, please, take over all the desires. I don't want to have any sense of proprietorship over it, though I feel that it is my desire, due to illusion. But actually this is all somebody else's desires, false ego's desires. This is not my desire. Just like Kardama Muni, this is not his soul's desire, it is his false ego's desire. False ego's desire means my desire through false ego. I am responsible. False ego may be characteristic of, the desire may be characteristic of false ego. Just like a man's false ego defines the kind of desires that false ego will have. But the soul is behind it who is neither male nor female in the material world. But he'll adopt those desires of the male, I want a nice wife. So through the false ego you adopt a desire, then you become responsible, but you are responsible for it. Just like Prabhupada says, if your dog passes stool in America in the park, you have to pay fine, not the dog. Or you have to pick it up. That is a rule. In the same way, the false egos are all like dogs we are carrying. Wherever they pass stool, you are responsible. They may engage in the sinful activity, you are responsible. So these desires, our desires, unconstitutional desires, say material desires are all unconstitutional. Unconstitutional means it is characteristic of different role plays that we have got, not my soul. My soul means constitutional desires. So unconstitutional desires are there. So the devotee understands, after understanding the philosophy of Krishna consciousness, he understands that these are all unconstitutional desires. But no doubt the force of guna, kala and karma is surfacing up in my mind with a strong desire. The devotee cries to the Lord in the heart, let me not be victimized by this false ego. You have all the power to purify me. Whatever way you want, if it is too strong, if I have to go through some experiences, please do so. It is left to you, sanction it. But you sanction it, but ensure that I don't lose my Krishna consciousness. I don't lose my Krishna. I don't want any desires at the cost of losing my Krishna consciousness. So in that way the devotees prays and offers all his desires. You have to admit, we all have desires. We mean this body has desires. Social ego is there. Bodily ego is there. Then this bodily ego is a member of the society, so social ego is there. So there are desires for love, affection, this, that, name, fame, enter in the society, social, so many rasas, their contaminations are there, because that is how we are born. If you aren't a devotee, these things all will express through your gunakala and karma. So we admit that all these things are there, but you separate it from it. My constitution, I am there along with the super soul. I have to, offer everything to the Lord, and without the Lord's help, Lord in the heart is Chaitya Guru. That is why it is said, Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasadat. You need mercy of Chaitya Guru, you need mercy of external spiritual master, and then external. What is the mercy of external spiritual master? He is his instruction. If you are, let's say ultimately Krishna is Jagat Guru. He is a Guru of every living entity. So different, pure personalities represent this Guru Tattva. They come. And they say so many things. Those are nothing but they are all Krishna's instructions. They are representative of Krishna's instruction. So you follow Krishna's instruction given externally by the spiritual master, then you become qualified to take instructions and direction and mercy from Chaitya Guru. Suppose I give you some standing instructions. You want to become my follower. I give some standing instruction. Don't do this, do all these things. You don't follow any of those things, and you come to me. Please, what is my next instruction? You do all the things that I have told, then I will actively reciprocate with you. First things first. Follow all those things. If you cannot follow all these things, I will help you. You struggle to follow all those things first. Then I will speak to you from your heart. What to do next. Now you struggle to follow whatever external Guru has told. All the Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, these are all external things. What they have told. Now you listen. Then from your heart I will speak to you. What you have to do. You don't worry. So that is the thing. So this solution that Prabhupada said, to offer all desires to Krishna is the solution. Because we have tiny intelligence, we do not understand. Our desires may be a big snake of spiritual life. A poisonous snake that will come and bite and kill our spiritual life. We have to be extremely careful. It may look very sweet. It may appear that it is going to increase your service so much and this and that and all those things. But you do not know. It may kill you. Any other questions?
In a previous class, you were telling previous class, you were telling that 24 hours devotee has Krishna conscious. We have to judge by that. How to judge a devotee? We have to see whether he is 24 hours what he is doing, activities. Even personally, we see ourselves also. Some false egos, they'll try to haunt the devotee. So we want to become 24 hours Krishna.
First, what is the final question?
False egos, different false egos are haunting a devotee. So how do we make these false egos weak? Like
how to make false egos weak?
Weak, yeah.
False egos which are in us. How to make it weak? How do you make anything weak? You stop feeding. How do you make your body weak? Starving. Similarly, you starve your false ego. Starve means what? Each false ego has got women. A man's false ego is to associate with women. Food. Rasa. Friendship, exchange, this, that, all those things. It's not merely sex. That's also another subject I want to talk. Today everything between man and woman has reduced to sex. This is not the perception of Vedic understanding. It is a relationship between a man and a woman. It is a relationship between Purusha and Prakriti. It is the imitation of the supreme relationship between Radha and Krishna. So that is the finer understandings of married life or conjugal life. So, the false egos are of different types. You can have a false ego like an animal male. Animal male's false ego is what wants gross sex. Let's say, that's all. So there is a human male, there is a demigod male, there is a demigod female. These are all different kinds of false ego. Fine false egos can have fine rasas. So you should not feed that false ego. That means you have got a freedom now to dovetail that in Krishna's for Krishna's pleasure. That is the only way, to dovetail it in Krishna's pleasure.
So if we in devotional service we are quite against it, becoming famous or like something like that. So if we try to dovetail that, then
Try to dovetail.
Can we dovetail that also, or can we?
No, you cannot, you don't dovetail all those things. Krishna will dovetail it. Krishna and authorities will dovetail it. So again you are creating new desires, dovetailing desires. Already you have crazy desires. Now you have got dovetailing desires. The dovetailing desire is nothing but desire to fulfill your desires. By Guru's order, by authority's order, Krishna will manage. That is what. Leave that management to you. Don't have responsibility to dovetail. You don't have responsibility. You have responsibility to engage in service of the Lord, and you will be directed. Because devotion service has to be practiced in the association of Vaishnavas, and you will get direction how to dovetail it. You have to be very careful about all this. But trick over trick Maya will play. I just give the phone. Not that tomorrow you make a whole list of all the desires that I have, then sit and plan, I have to dovetail all these things. That means you are planning to fulfill your desires. It's not dovetailing.
Hare.
You should be ashamed. When you have so many desires, you make a list and be ashamed about it. And then you leave it to the Lord, pray to the Lord, I am a foolish fellow, I do not know. Some of them may not be dovetailable at all. Everything is not dovetailable. Remember this, everything is not dovetailable. Some desires have to be dropped. I want to murder someone, can I dovetail it? Yeah, murder all your false egos in your heart. Go and pray to Nrsimhadev, just like you killed Hiranyakashipu, please kill all the false egos in my heart. Tear them into pieces. Yes.
Hare Sharu. Recently I had come across this question. I wanted to deepen the understanding on this subject. This example was given that suppose there is a son who's living with his father. Due to some misunderstanding, he wants to leave home and go away on his own. So the father, because he is loving, he will respect his free will, let him go away, but he will not have a consequence that if you go away, then there will be some consequence on you. And he will not try to exercise that. He will let him go away and then he'll try his means to get him back. Now, in the example of the Jiva, when he is rebellious to Krishna, and so Krishna respects his free will. But then the other alternative, if he cannot be in the spiritual world, is that he has to undergo, as a consequence, the experience of the fourfold miseries. And so the question was, there is a consequence to if he is respecting my free will, then why is he putting a consequence? Then how is he all lovable?
Respects not only one rebellious jiva's free will. He has to respect all rebellious jiva's free will. Right? And the most prominent desire of the rebellious living entity is what? to lord over other living entities, which is what the Lord is doing in the spiritual world. But He does it out of pure love. But here you want to lord over the living entities with your tiny capacity to love. When your tiny capacity to love, when you want to imitate the Lord, it will turn into lording over tendency. So now, let us say the father has got 10 children. All till 10 children go to the father and tell the father, I want to control all the 9 children, they should follow what I say. The problem, the father is put in a peculiar situation. Each of them are saying, I want to control the other. So what is the solution? I cannot be fair to anyone, unfair to anybody. I cannot sanction now, okay, all right, you 9. You 9 follow him. Then all 9 will think, hey, how unfair you are. You cannot be unfair to me like this. So God is perfect in His fairness. So the Lord says, as you sow, so you reap. Go and fight among yourselves. I have created a world for you. If you work hard, you can control all the 9. There are different aspects of controlling. So the material laws of karma is originating from. The Lord is not cruel in creating lot of karma. The laws of karma has a foundation in this quality of equality of the Lord. Fairness and perfect fairness and equality is a quality of the Lord. See what great quality of the Lord. Out of that has come this law of karma and this material creation. Not because He wants to punish you and bring you back and all those things. No, He is not saying then in that case everybody should go back. The Lord is not saying that if you want to remain here, permanently remain here. That's also in our philosophy. You don't have to go back to Godhead. It's not a reformatory factory where everything is churned out and finally you go back to Godhead. I need all the jivas for my pleasure. He is little rebellious. Let him change and let him come back purified. No, that's also not Lord's wish. Lord's wish is so crystal clear. Among millions of living entities is 1/4 of the material, Lord's opulence is this material creation. Be there, come on, do. As you sow, so you reap. Papa, punya, everything, you learn. So, Lord has to be fair, no? Suppose your desire in the spiritual world was, I don't want any jivas. Just give me one island, I want to enjoy. Why island? One universe He'll give. The point is, that is not your desire. Your desire is interfering with other jivas' desire. Yeah.
No, in that case, when he's making these laws, these experience of death, old age, this disease, now this is a result of violating the laws. Why is He can allow me to exist eternally in whatever body that is giving in this
Why in that
world?
body only?
Because
You want variety, no? The Lord has Advaitam, Achyutam, Anadim, Ananta Rupam simultaneously. The Lord says, okay, you also want, you got fed up of being a male, next you'll get a female. Then you want to be a tiger, you get attracted to tiger's consciousness, you become tiger, you become elephant. That's a variety is life.
So I have variety of desires, so then He sanctions that by giving me experience of death.
Like
and then
Prabhupada says, if you are so addicted to eating flesh, one full life, tiger, eat flesh.
Thank you.
And here also, see, Lord why He is giving it eternally, our eternality, our eternal nature never changes. Only thing is, chapters are there, that's all. You forget one chapter, then you go another. Now if I have forgotten everything about my last life, now this life. And then I forget again. So that is why I keep saying that the individuality is different, identity is different in the material world. These are all identities. Identities are changing, but the individual is same. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.